So how long do you guys want to keep Michael in the penalty box when he finally shows up? I'm thinking we give him a 5-minute major.
10-minute misconduct.
10-minute misconduct. Nice.
Yep.
What do they have in curling for penalty boxes? Because I've seen all the fist fights you guys get into there.
You have to buy both rounds of drinks, both the first and the second. So I guess the bar, maybe.
Well, how's that going to work since we're all in different locations? Is he just going to have to PayPal us the money?
Venmo.
He could ship it to us.
Venmo.
Or something. You can't ship alcohol across all the state lines, though. There are restrictions.
Just tell him it's maple syrup. It's fine.
Right?
Well, then the maple syrup police will be after us.
It's
You're
just
far enough
like
on the border down there. You're okay.
All right.
It's
Hi,
just
everybody.
colored water.
Yeah. Hi, guys.
Water.
Hello.
They did that. Oh, there's Michael.
There he is.
Wow.
Michael, we talked about either giving you a 5-minute major or a 10-minute misconduct, but we'll be generous.
Game.
Well, in fairness, I don't know. I don't know if I can lift this up. I have this boot now.
Oh my God.
Uh-oh.
So, well, it's this tendonitis. So,
okay.
I just came from across town.
We have more stories about.
Yes.
Everybody's broken.
Everyone's wiping out.
Now we got 2 people in the boot club too.
Oh my goodness.
Oh heavens. All right. Well, hi everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
This is our last sidebar of the year. So I suppose the first thing I should ask before we go any further is this our last sidebar ever, or do you guys want to do it again next year?
Heck yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Of course.
All right. That means we're going to have to renegotiate all of our contracts, so we'll be working on that next week. Expect my people to be in touch with your people.
Fantastic.
Is this the time I asked for a raise?
No, you're getting a pay cut. YouTube has been down. Everybody's been getting a pay cut. And then you're like, but Dan, how can you cut to 0?
Yeah.
I'll find a way. You'll pay to be on. You owe me $10 per appearance. Oh, heavens.
Membership dues. Okay.
Right. All right, so it's the last one of the year, and Lindsay came up with this wonderful idea that we should just talk about some of the things we've seen this year, some cases that have caught our attention and that we remember, some that have done well on the channel, some that maybe we shake our heads at and go, why did we have to see that? Anything like that. I'll start off on an interesting note, I suppose, because Austin, you mentioned this before we went live, Mr. Magoo.
Yes.
In his case, and we'd seen him, we saw him on the live too show up in Judge Washington's court on a different thing, but he was most famously in front of Judge Simpson doing his sov-sit things as he was apt to do, and unfortunately he's been referred on to a circuit court now that does not stream, so we won't see any more of him. But he tried to file a lawsuit against Washtenaw County, which you were telling us before we went live has been thrown out.
Correct. As of the 15th, it was dismissed in its entirety by the federal judge that was overseeing it. So
there you go.
Well, get out the Crayolas and color me shocked.
Right.
In fairness to Mr. Magoo, we should also point out that how we spell his name on the videos is not actually how he spells it in real life.
Correct.
Oh.
Yep.
It's like MCGAUGH.
I have it right here.
Or something like that.
MCGOUGH.
Okay, I wasn't even close, but whatever. But he pronounces it Magoo, so he opens himself up to the ridicule.
Yes,
Right.
Yes.
And
I wondered about that. This is the first I've heard that the spelling wasn't the actual spelling. So
Well, we only had the video to go off of, or the
Exactly.
live stream. So
well, I do want to point out 2 things, and this is probably starting off on a little bit of a angry tone, but the Mr. Magoo content got me 2 criticisms quite consistently in the comments. that I want to call out right now to our dear listeners. First off, criticism for how I spelled his name. Lighten up and have some fun. I mean, he's,
Right.
it welcomes it, just enjoy a little bit. Not everything has to be so serious. And the other thing I'd like to point out to just the audience in general, because I think a lot of you don't necessarily know or understand how all of this works. But court channels like TCF or other court channels were pulling in streams that are put out by the judges into the public domain. Mm-hmm. And I'd like to point out that we have zero control over those streams. Yep. We don't control the audio. We don't control the cameras. We don't control everything. Because the other thing I got called out for in the Magoo videos, because Simpson's court, he lets Zoom, he sets it up so Zoom picks the camera, and it picks it off of whatever mic it thinks is live. So it jumps around like it's got like some kind of digital Tourette's or something. I don't control it, folks.
Yeah.
So stop beating me up for the editing. I've got nothing to do with it.
It's not his fault. We can vouch for it.
People asking me, why are you on drugs? Stop drinking.
That's a whole separate conversation.
Well,
but
it's got
it's
nothing
like
to do
you're
with the
in
videos.
there filming it.
Yeah. Camera 1, camera 3, camera 5, camera 4, camera 1, camera 5. Yeah, just smashing buttons. Just
not even allowed to do that.
I was actually tempted on one of the live streams, because I've got multiple cameras here in the studio. I was actually tempted to start switching between them just on me, just to kind of prove a point. But I never
going all Blair Witch.
Maybe.
Spite.
But yeah, I got nothing to do with it, folks. So just, if it wants to give you like motion sickness or something, I understand. Just listen then. Because the audio is always good. Anytime you can listen to somebody as crazy as Magoo, it's worth listening to.
Definitely.
I think. It's part of the fun of court.
It's on Spotify and stuff. So you don't have to look at the stream.
That's true. We are also a podcast.
Yes.
So, Lindsay, this was your topic. What was your favorite of the year?
I don't know if necessarily my favorite, but certainly the most memorable, and especially amongst this crew, has been Hoarder Man.
Oh, of course.
It's been a frequent topic of conversation, and I think it's one that really calls out kind of how the system can be broken, but also how people really need to help themselves. The court can't fix situations, i.e., we keep putting this man in jail for 5 days, but then he gets out and nothing keeps moving, nothing moves, and he's back, and rinse and repeat. So I think that was definitely one of the more memorable ones for me, because every time he came back, I kept hoping for something, like a community that would rally around him, sons, materializing and helping. And we just found out it was getting worse, or he had taken out a bag of trash. He had moved, not even moved a vehicle, didn't. By
the way, Hoarder Man to be continued in 2026.
Yes, it's still ongoing.
Yeah, hopefully a year from now, when we do our best of 2026, we have the resolution of Hoarder Man, and he's living in a nice, clean space. But
no.
Yeah,
because
I'm
if
not
you
holding
recall,
my breath, which is I can't really breathe right now anyway because of a head cold. So,
I forget who pulled it up for us, but we had all of the Google Earth photographs of his land.
Yep.
That was,
and it dated back into like the mid 2010s.
Yeah.
Yes.
And and nothing changed. It got worse.
It got worse.
Just moved around the property.
Yep.
Exactly.
I think at one point a boat moved like 4 feet.
Yeah.
But,
looked like a Zerg creep. I mean, this thing just kept taking over more and more land.
Yeah.
Which shows how successful he probably will be in removing that stuff.
Without some kind of stronger intervention. Without the township just going in and doing it for him, or they finally get the cast of hoarders over there.
I think the
what's
township
interesting
should do it for him, and then he pays the township back for it. But that's just my opinion. But then that's somebody's property.
Isn't part of it he's indigent though? Like, isn't that like part of why he can't, or is claiming he can't, or is I'm thinking of another case?
Well, I think he's in his late 60s. I want to say.
Older.
And you know what's interesting about Hoarderman cases so when I guest hosted one of the days, remember we cut to, and I had no idea this was going to happen, but I cut to a Judge Middleton hearing.
Yeah.
And there was a Hoarderman there. It's kind of similar, except St. Joe, they basically are the township. We're going to make this guy pay to clean up because we've already filed all the motions. We've already gone through everything. He's either going to clean it up himself or the township's going to pay and he's going to give it back to us. And then if he doesn't, we put a lien on his property.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is so
Bada
crazy
bing,
to
bada
think
boom.
about. If you think about the geography of Michigan, these guys are 150 miles apart? Yes, the hand just came up. So they're within the same state. They're within the same geographical area of the state. Why is one township doing it and one township not?
Yeah.
Has to do with who runs the township.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, Hoarderman
It
is a
would be
great
easier if they just did that, though.
saga.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
And the other ones, kind of in the Detroit area. Detroit area operates a whole lot different than the rest of the state.
Yes, it does.
So there is that. But didn't the last time we saw Hoarderman, didn't the person for the city say that there were some citizens that were volunteering to actually help him?
Yes.
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 I thought so. So,
Yep.
in
And
theory,
McNally either asked if Hoarderman would take the information or if they could give his info to those people to call and arrange it that way.
Yeah.
And I forget
think that's
what
where
they
we left off.
Hoarderman keeps
actually did.
complaining it's raining. I'm like, Hoarderman, you need to find a better excuse. I'm sorry.
My God, you live
It's not
in
raining
Michigan.
7 days a week.
Yeah.
Yep.
You live in Michigan. Weather is gonna weather. You gotta
Yes.
roll with it.
Yes.
yeah.
Apparently it's been raining since 2011, I guess.
Yeah.
It's just
Well, yeah, maybe.
and then the holidays, it's the holidays are 1 or 2 days out of a month.
He was making that excuse back in July.
That's what I mean. Well, there was Juneteenth, and then there was July 4th, and then there was St. Swithin's Day, and
And apparently his sons
Arbor
never
Day.
sleep. They work.
yeah,
They work all the time,
all
and
the
they
time.
can't.
Oh, yeah.
24/7 working.
Help him. Yeah. Every excuse in the book with him. He just doesn't want to clean it up. And
I mean, I know
think the
Judge
township should
McNally.
step in.
I think what we really saw to that was Judge McNally just labored and labored over that. He did not want to throw him in jail. He gave him
he did
every possible opportunity. And Judge McNally says, "Are you really going to make me do this? I'm not going to sleep tonight. I'm really going to, this is one of those I'm going to actually lose sleep over
I felt sorry
putting you
for
in
him.
jail."
Yeah.
I did too. I think he had a really hard time
He
making
did
that
not,
decision.
Yeah.
he didn't want to do it.
Which
No.
just
And then he
helps you
had to do
remember
it
that
again.
these people they're humans behind that bench, and
Yeah.
that was definitely. I mean, Judge McNally is one of the more humans that we see in that position, but that was
Yes.
really a moment where you saw the man versus the judge, I think.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we see so many people that just back judges into a corner and don't give them a choice.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
you know,
Right.
and that's essentially what Hoarderman did.
Yeah.
We see it. We see it so often with people who do silly things like fail to report.
Yes.
Keep doing that over and over and over
my
again.
God.
And back judges into a corner.
Yeah.
That's like a constant here on the channel. That's like a
Yeah.
daily thing. Where we'll
Yes.
have somebody who,
Yeah.
well, you didn't report for this day and this day. And they list off like
The
15
two
days.
easiest things you can do on probation: report to your probation officer and don't pick up any new cases.
Yep.
I get when you have addictions, look, some people will fall off the wagon, that part. And there's a lot of judges that are a little bit forgiving on that. But my goodness, report. I mean, all you have to do is pick up the phone or get on Zoom. Half the time, you don't even have to go in. You just, you can report by Zoom.
Yeah, get on the Zoom.
Yep.
I mean, it's not that nice. It's not even not that difficult. It's the simplest thing to do.
They don't
And
communicate
especially-
like they should. Yeah.
Well, especially when, So, off stream sometimes, even after TC, I will just go and watch Judge Boyd sometimes, or I'll watch one of our judges. And, Judge Boyd had somebody on the other day that this guy is facing up to life in prison. He did I think it was an ag robbery, and he got deferred adjudication, but then he didn't report. He was young too. He was like in his early 20s, and he just didn't report. And then he picks up a new case. He picks up a fleeing and eluding. And, Judge Boyd's basically like, I don't understand why you just didn't report. She's wrestling with it too, because, and then she wound up giving the guy 14 years. And, and of course he's hooked up with a 19-year-old girlfriend. He's like 23, I think, or something. And she gives us her famous, and this is, one of Judge Boyd's classics. I love this. She'll say to the girl, why are you hitching your star to this guy? He is on deferred adjudication for an aggravated robbery. He could be facing up to life in prison. And, this is a guy that now he doesn't report, and now he's fleeing and eluding, and he's picked up a new case. Like, what are you doing? And she's like, I hope you don't have any children with him.
Right.
I think, that's some of my most frustrating cases here on TCF is the failure to report, or that. I think my favorite from the year, or a couple of my favorites, obviously, because we saw Judge Fleischer, through the first part of the year, and watching Judge Fleischer willing to listen, willing to even admit when he was wrong about something, going to the law book, scrutinizing probable cause, these little things. We talk about the big things, but sometimes these little things, that's what makes a judge a great judge. That's what separates the men from the boys, the great judges from the good judges. And we see others do that. Judge Mercer is certainly willing to do that. Even Judge Glazer, but Judge Fleischer, I think, is like the OG of scrutinizing probable cause. So that was one, and then a specific case. Of course, I have to go there because it was just such a fun-filled roller coaster, just drama-packed hour. It's where TCF collided with Jerry Springer and Phil Donahue and Sally Jesse Raphael. And that is out of the Louisiana Board of Pardons and Paroles. We had everything in this one case. We had threesomes. We had drugs. We had probation violation, allegedly. And at the end of the day, the guy didn't get, he did not get revoked. But I mean, it was over an hour of pure drama.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
I think I was in Montana during that one.
Yeah,
yes.
That was a Michael hosted stream.
Yep. I watched it back later. I think we watched it that night and just kind of shook our head.
Yeah.
And then the next day, Beth broke her leg. She was so disgusted with it all.
Yeah, I almost feel responsible for that.
No, I was crazy though.
Yeah,
that was
I did not see it coming.
I think I walked in the middle of that one. Like, I came in as he was giving his test statement, and I came in at mention of a threesome, and it's like, did I hear what I think I just heard? And then it just kept going and going, and the one witness was the coworker of the woman that was dating the defendant, and I couldn't place where she was in the story. She just kept calling me, and I told her, why is she messing around with this guy?
Well, and she was going to be kind of a witness for, against this guy.
Yeah.
And she wound up being even the board was like, we don't find you at all credible.
Yes.
And she really made his case seem much stronger, and that's why they decided to continue him, because she just seemed like a ball of drama. It was, again, it was, I think 70 minutes or 75. I just remember we went deep into overtime on that.
Yes.
And And it was well worth it. But I mean, the chat, everybody was riveted, yet disgusted, yet it was just.
Like, how have they not pulled the stream?
What happened with it? Well, and that's still up there. That's the one thing I will say about Louisiana is they keep all that stuff up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Full transparency.
Yeah.
That's true. Was that case the one that was happening in Mama's house, or was that a different Jerry Springer one from there?
That I believe was a different Jerry Springer one.
Because there was another one too that was a whole bunch of crazy. But that
we
one,
had two.
Well, I was in Mama's house.
Well, I was guest hosting. We had two pretty wild ones from Louisiana. That just happened to dwarf the other, though. But yeah, yeah. I don't know. You never know what you're going to get with Louisiana. It's just like Reno. It's like a much bigger Reno. It's like you just never know what you're going to get when you go there.
It's true.
Right.
The Louisiana stuff, I like to go there because every time it's unique. It's something different. But it's a little bit of a conundrum for me because, to be honest, we have people that tune out when we go to Louisiana. And I wish, if you're listening and you tune out when you go to Louisiana, that you wouldn't tune out, because you miss some pretty interesting stuff. You really do.
Yep.
As Michael just said, I'm trying to think of, what the one with the that happened in Mama's house. I think that was the week I got back.
Yeah.
Because there was.
Is that the one it looked like they were in the same room?
Yeah. So.
Yes.
Yeah, they
With
were
the
in
ceiling
like this,
fans?
It was Mama's. It was Mama's house. They were in the same room. There was a girlfriend there, but then there was another one that didn't live there, and the guy was like, "I'm gonna take this other one to the bedroom," and yeah. And then the one got jealous,
right.
So she walked by to see what was going on, and yeah. So
Yeah,
yeah,
that
you
was
need to tune
one
into
with the
Louisiana
attorney
'cause
too,
it's nuts.
right? Or was
What'd you
that
say?
another one? Was the attorney involved in that one?
Physically?
No.
Probably.
No.
No, I think
I think
I know which
the-
one you're talking about.
I think the attorney
that
was in
might-
the first one.
No, that
Yeah, it
was
was that
that
one.
was the other one.
Yep.
That was the
okay,
other
never
one
mind.
that
I'm getting mixed up now. Never mind.
And then the attorney got involved. And he called over the legal assistant.
Right. That's the one you're talking about, Dan's the one with the ceiling fans, and they looked like they were in the same room, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Well,
Oh, crazy stuff.
let's see. What was my favorite one of the year? Besides Hoarder Man, the one that really stands out to me, believe it or not, is the Hitler guy.
Hitler guy.
Yeah. The one that is a soft sit, and he was saying that
Judge Simpson's court.
yeah.
Are you talking about the
that
one where
one.
he said that Judge Simpson's wife, like he wants to sue everybody, including Judge Simpson's wife, President Trump, Elon Musk,
Yes.
Obama, like, and
I
then
found
all
that to be the most outrageous.
and then like some state legislature, like all these different people from
That guy
high
had,
and
like,
low.
That guy had like Candace Owens level conspiracy theories going on.
Yeah. I was like, what
Yeah.
is with this guy? And how is he mentally competent to stand trial? I don't like that's I was like,
Well,
there's
and
no
he
way.
was
Didn't they
supposed
talk
to
about competency
reappear.
for him?
Yeah, they did, and he was supposed to reappear when Dan was out one day, and I watched that stream, very like a hawk waiting for that. I would have sat here, I would have broken in at 3 p.m. if I had to, just to make sure that got on. But he never showed up. Something happened.
No.
That happens
So-
a lot where
Yep.
things are supposed to go down and then they don't.
I wish there was more consistency with that, to be honest, because there's some good ones that we follow that we just don't get a follow up on. We never see the resolution to it. But
Well,
that
Yeah.
one really stood out to me, and the one that we got so mad about Judge Stevens over as well.
Yeah.
Also
Yep.
stood out to me as well. So those are the two.
yeah, that one stood out for all the wrong reasons.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
But speaking of things we didn't get a resolution for, the Judge Boyd one with the lawyer who turned in the client.
Yes.
Recorded him.
Yeah.
That just fell out of the court. I don't know
Yep.
if they dismissed it or they made a deal or what.
Or if it's still out there somewhere. You know,
Yeah.
if it's going to come back around, if it's coming back up again.
You know, there might still be something going on with it. I'll go ahead and reveal at this point.
I think she was going to set trial for that, but we never figured out.
She was going to, but it didn't go.
Right.
Yeah.
But I will say, I think we can reveal this at this point because it's been quite a long time. While that was going on, the defendant's new lawyer actually reached out to me to give his side of the story. And I invited him on stream, which of course he wasn't able to do because the case was active. But once it kind of fell away, I messaged him again and I never heard back.
Interesting.
So I don't know if there's still something going on with that or not. But
There very well could be.
Yeah.
But that was a wild case in and of itself. You had a lawyer who was recording his client
Yeah.
without the client's knowledge, but you can argue one party state, okay, whatever. But the client allegedly made reference to there's going to be dead bodies everywhere, and the lawyer turned him into the police over it. But you could have easily taken that as just, you know what, he's frustrated, he's blowing off steam.
Yeah.
You know,
Because it was a family court case.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I mean, anybody that's had to deal with family court situations and that whole system, I mean, I guarantee you that lawyer has heard far worse than that.
yeah.
I guarantee you any family law attorney or even some family law judges have heard far worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that guy has been
yeah.
in front of the court around 238 times.
Yep.
So,
Oh, wow.
of course, he was getting. Yeah, when I watched it back, he said it was over 200 times he's been in front of court. So it's.
Yep.
I mean, we all have hobbies.
I caught that too, and I actually had to rewind it to make sure I heard that right.
Yeah.
And then I caught up on the stream.
I
I wonder though what he counts as in front of court.
Right.
You know,
I
is
bet
it dealing with like a child and family services officer? Is it having to call in for something?
Just a status conference.
Just status
Yeah.
conference,
Probably
yeah.
anything
Yeah.
court related. I would
Yeah, he's
bet.
probably playing a little loose with that number, but
Yeah.
Yeah, but
But
when I
I
heard
can
that number, I
understand
was
it.
like, wow.
Yep.
yeah, that was the thing with me too, Michael. When you know we realized it was family court, immediately I'm like, so.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Like,
know,
Okay.
everybody
I mean,
hates everybody. In family
yeah,
court.
it's not like he brought a gun into the office or anything. I mean, you know, it was just it was words. And if the lawyer really felt that threatened, like I think he would have taken different steps. Yeah, he made a call eventually, and yeah, you know, but I just think that's one of those things where it got blown out of proportion. And I know we talked about it here, and we pretty much all came to an agreement about that, more or less.
Yeah, more or
Yeah.
less. I mean, it kind of. I started off thinking that. I mean, he shouldn't really be saying those things to anyone, but I kind of took your side after a while that he might be just blowing off steam. It's not like he named anybody specific or anything like that.
Well, that
so-
was the thing too, is there wasn't a specific threat made.
Yeah.
He just, and again, poor choice of words, sure.
Right.
Not necessarily the healthiest thing to say, not something maybe I would say, but again, you know, after you've dealt with a very high conflict situation in a family court setting for years,
Yep.
I mean, I again, you know, Dan's so is exactly how it's like, yeah, it's like, okay, what else you got?
Pretty much, yeah. You know, we don't really watch family court here, and it's probably a good thing. Or maybe I should show more of it in 26 just to educate people on the importance of choosing the right person to marry.
I would like
Yeah.
it.
Well, Judge Mogan does some family
not very
court cases. We do see those from time to time.
There's one judge in Lenawee County who that's all she does, and she does stream. And I think I showed one of her hearings. It was like a child custody or something like that.
Yeah.
But
I know there are judges that is their sole case set, and they have all the special training and everything for it. I don't want to say
Speaking
it's
of-
crazy, but it's interesting.
Speaking of civil cases, didn't we watch a civil case about a dog?
a case about a dog.
Mm-hmm.
I think Judge Mogan had something like that.
Oh,
I
Yes.
don't remember that one.
Yes.
That was interesting. The
Yeah.
one with the dog with the late. Yeah.
so it was a case where like
Oh,
it was
maybe
a
I
couple
remember
that
that
had
one.
broken up, and
Yes.
like, the dog had already
Oh, yeah.
been one of theirs, and the other
Yes.
person wanted to claim
Yeah.
Yep.
ownership of it. Samson's the dog's name. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
I
right.
remember this.
That's right.
Yeah, that was Judge
Yeah.
Logan's court.
Yeah.
Yep.
Speaking of civil cases, that one popped
Yeah.
into my head. Like that was an
Yeah.
interesting one too.
That was.
And you almost
that
got the
was-
feeling watching Judge Mogan in that. Like, I mean, she was going to take it seriously and like rule, but you kind of had the feeling she was like, what? Why is this in front of me? Why are we fighting about this? Can we just be adults about the dog?
Yep.
But-
A lot of people don't realize that a dog in legal world is not the same as a person.
Right.
It's treated as property.
Property.
So it's
Right.
a normal property dispute, as bad as it,
Mhm.
or
It's
as
an
strange
asset,
as
yeah.
it sounds.
Yeah.
That's a whole other discussion that we won't have right now. But you know, the animals are technically property, but yet if you harm the property, society looks down at you much harder than if you harmed a human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another sidebar for another time because
It is.
there's a weird
Yep.
duality going on there.
For sure.
It doesn't make sense.
Oh.
You know,
and
speaking
then
of,
there was-
go ahead.
Oh no. I just thought of another one. The one with the fence as well. That
Which one
property
with the
fence.
fence? I feel like
Oh,
there's a lot of
yes.
fences.
Yep.
Was this
Yes.
That
Yes.
was
Middleton's
crazy
court?
as well. The one with the property fence, and they were saying that somebody was putting weed killer on their side of the lawn.
And I think
yeah,
weren't
that was
there were like
Middleton, and
cameras.
wasn't there a cemetery involved?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And there were cameras and
Yes.
Oh, yes.
this is a neighbor and Judge Middleton knows all the of course he does. He knows all the parties involved. And he even asked beforehand, "Hey, is everybody okay with me handling this? Because otherwise I can recuse myself and you guys can go before a different judge." But
Yeah.
they were all cool with it.
Yeah.
And he said, "Listen, I may rule against you, but that's how it's going to be." Well, that was a not quite Jerry Springer
It
level,
dragged on.
but
It was
For
quite the
Middleton,
one.
it was.
it walked the line. It definitely went up close to that because you had neighbors, fighting. You had, a dispute over just dumb, petty crap that I remember this now very clear. Dan said, afterwards, this is just something that all people have to do is sit down and have a conversation and resolve.
Yep.
And this is just something that's just completely missing in society.
Yep.
And I couldn't have agreed with that more. That was wild.
That's one of the things I think we learned through our court watching this year is just how broken society is from a relationship and dealing with each other's standpoint. How much stuff gets to the court that's just, accelerated to a point where it doesn't need to be if people just took a moment, took a breath, and talked stuff out.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
it doesn't particularly happen, and we see it all the time. But the defense one was a great example. I'd forgotten about that one. And then there was dispute over like who was taking care of the family cemetery and all
Yes.
of that. And
Oh yeah. That was
Yes.
part of that. Yeah.
See, we all need to be more lovey like Ellie here. I don't know how well you can see it on camera, but she's thrown her head back into my left hand, laid down on her back, and she's like, "Pet my belly."
Yeah, I can see feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I see an ear.
Yeah,
You're pathetic.
he's precious.
We've seen a lot of
Hey,
Ellie
she's very
and some
trusting of
Freya.
you, man.
You know, we've seen a lot of the pets really appear on
I think-
TCF.
I think the 2027 TCF calendar will have to be the pets of TCF.
I agree.
We'll make that happen.
We'll put
Yes,
we'll
that
put
would be
Freya
amazing.
and Ellie and the rabbits, you know, Verity, and we'll have Topaz. I don't know if Buddy will still be with us by 2027, but you know, we'll see. He seems to hang around.
Are you better now? She just had to adjust.
So cute.
No.
Look, there's her head.
You're pathetic.
Oh. Yeah, Sabrina too. Mama Joan. Yeah, we can put Sabrina in the calendar.
Yep.
Yep. So we'll do that next year.
Sabrina has curled up in a ball and has gone to sleep. So she
I
will
like
not
that
be
plan.
moving
That sounds like
forward.
fun.
I know. Oh, sounds delightful.
Oh,
So, yeah, there's been we've learned a lot, I think, on TCF this year.
Yes.
I think on the positive side, we have definitely learned that there are. I guess well, for me anyway, I can't speak for everybody else, but I've learned a lot more about the process and a lot more about, you know, how different judges work, how you know, everything from first appearances and you know, these arraignments and you know, watching people like Judge Mercer and Judge Glazer and Brantley Clark and all these guys work. I have really learned and had a great appreciation for how efficient some of these guys can truly be, and that there is the potential of efficiency on our in our court system. And you know, I that's the positive. The other side, of course, is that, I mean, obviously there needs to be more of that. I wanted to bring one other thing up because we're talking about favorite moments. One of my favorite moments just happened, I believe, yesterday. And I think we all know what I'm talking about. Brantley Clark, a Sov sit appears before him.
We talked about that before you got here, Michael.
Okay, awesome.
Not live, but
Oh, okay.
Before we went
they were
live.
giving me a recap of the last few days.
Okay.
That came up. So
That moment,
go
for
back
those of
and
you that
watch.
missed it, that was he's like, I'm not implying, I'm telling you straight out, I'm not going to listen to that.
Yep.
And Brantley Clark, you know, he's a good judge. I've always, you know, I enjoy watching him, but boy, he shot up the my favorite judges list pretty fast with that.
And don't
That
start
was-
that crap with me.
Yeah,
it
he's
was
just
right up there with the Judge Fleischer, like clapping with glee. Like, I've always wanted one of these.
yes, yeah,
Forgot about
and
that.
it was genuine. Like, he wasn't being sarcastic or ironic.
Yeah.
Judge Fleischer was legitimately excited to have a Sov sit in front
Yeah.
of him.
And the guy was just like,
What did I
confused.
just do?
It totally put him on his back foot. So
That was
maybe,
funny.
maybe he did it on purpose.
yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, the Brantley Clark Sov sit, I just pulled it up. He kept repeating when the judge tried to put him under oath. He kept saying, "May I have the correct pro se sentence syntax structure?" That's what he kept saying to the judge. So I put that through a couple of AI models that I use to decode Sov sit stuff, because generally it does really good.
Yeah.
And both models came back and said, "Yeah, I agree with the judge. I've got no idea what he's talking about."
That even him
says
using
something
the
right
word syntax is it
there.
sounds made
May I
up.
have the
Error
correct
404.
pro se sentence syntax structure?
Well, and the first time you guys said that, I was hearing sentence and tax structure. And it's like, what?
Well,
Well, that would have
All the
made just as
pardons?
much
What
sense.
does that mean?
Probably
Sentence,
more.
syntax.
and I was
Probably.
in the chat, it brought me back when I first started watching TCF, and I think this is maybe in a live or maybe it was a video or some. I think there was a guy that came before Judge Anzalone that pulled kind of a similar thing. And, Sovsits, I always knew that the Sovsit thing was out there because I saw it. Just kind of, some viral videos of it over the years. The last few years, it's really picked up some steam, unfortunately.
Yep.
And, it even makes it onto these other Law and Crime Network and all these guys, they talk about these Sovsits. And, but it's fascinating when you see it live here. Well, when we actually go to it and, if, Dan or when I'm hosting, we don't know what we're going to punch up. When we go to a courtroom, we don't really know what it's going to be.
Case in point, Louisiana.
Right.
Yeah.
I had now, had I known that, I still would have gone to it.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Amen.
But I would have been able to better mentally prepare for it, maybe. I would have gotten some popcorn.
Prepare for that one.
Yeah, I would have gotten a snack.
And just
just because at one point in that, I just sit back and just do this. I'm just like, okay, well, we're gonna be here for a while, folks. We ain't going anywhere. We're here till noon. It's fine.
Talking about Louisiana, that person that kept bringing up God and stuff. That
Jesus
was
blanket, guy.
No.
That's why I kept saying amen, amen.
Dan threw his pen. The first time I ever saw Dan really get mad on stream was because of one of the Louisiana hearings. For those of you that may have missed it, this guy goes before the board and he talks about how he's up for, I think it's parole. I don't think it was.
No, I think it was.
Oh, he wanted his
already
firearm.
out.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
Clemency or restoration of rights.
Yeah,
or something.
yeah. And
He wanted his firearm privileges back.
Yeah.
Yep.
And he talks about how he has found God and not just the usual, I go to church now and, I've been reading the Bible and said, no. This guy is he has wrapped himself in the Jesus cloak and then jumped into the Jesus water and just drank all of it, and he is just he gave them the car salesman pitch of a lifetime where everything that happened in his life is now God has graced him and he has learned everything just because of this. And in essence, he never really talked about what he did. All he, they're like, well, how is it that you got here and what have you done? Jesus. I mean, basically, he was very flowery, very, very articulate. He really did sell a good story. And, a couple of those board members, Miss Ledoux in particular, they eat that up. I mean, just nom, 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 nom.
Yeah, the big old spoon. She was.
Yep. I mean, just slurping that up like soup. And it worked.
Yep.
And Dan, and I think that's what made Dan so mad about, and me too. I was not pleased.
Yeah. It's such an affront to people like Dan who truly walk by faith and let it guide them. This guy just had it up like a sail and was like,
Well, Lindsay, to your point, Dan and I are, Dan's a person of faith. I'm an agnostic. Okay. I'm just, the religious free agent, if you will. And yet we both were offended for the exact same reason. That's the funny part about TCF sometimes is that we can, even when we are from different backgrounds, we come together and we can talk about this stuff. And sometimes we can find very common ground, even from different perspectives and backgrounds.
Yeah.
And both Dan and I said the exact same thing, just from a different side of the room on the issue. And it wasn't just us. I know you guys felt the same way, in kind of different tones, but it was just, it was just, either you looked at it as the guy's a grifter or the guy is, abusing faith, or this is why my perspective was, this is why people have negative views on religious people, is because people take advantage of it and they use it as their, weapon or as a tool to exploit others.
Exactly.
And that's what really bothered me about it. So,
I've actually thought about that one a lot. And I've come to the conclusion that he was more than likely speaking what he thought was true. I don't think he was trying to pull one over on anybody. I think this is how he was taught. Because one of the issues I have with the modern version of the church is that it goes all in on Jesus, but it leaves out the idea of consequence and responsibility.
Yep.
Oh,
It talks
yeah.
all about forgiveness and how Jesus will save you and all of this, but you still have to participate in your own salvation. You still have to own up to what you have done. You still have to atone for your sins. But they don't. There's a lot of churches that don't teach that, and I think
There's
that,
a lot of popular preachers that speak that message, and I don't agree with that either.
it's
I
dangerous because it's only half the message.
Well,
Right. And I think you're starting to make a point there too, right?
yeah. Churches seem to go one of two ways. It's either, it's either what you guys just said. It's like everything, your forgiveness, no matter what, or it's, if you do this, you're going to hell. That's it. Because
There's no coming back from that.
the churches I was in it as when I was young, that was kind of what, I heard a lot of was, and if you do that, if you touch yourself, you're going to hell. And if you think about, if you have lustful thoughts, you're going to hell. And it was just like, everything was, you're going to hell. And it was just like, I was like, man, it's the fear tactic there. So it's, you need kind of like, how about
balance.
How about the idea of consequences, but also accountability, but also forgiveness? Like, there is forgiveness, there is redemption, but there's also, you do have to pay for it. And that was the problem I had with this guy too, was that he didn't want to accept the responsibility for what he did. He just wanted to, speed run to the forgiveness part.
Yep.
There was one part, I'm pretty sure it was during that or it might have been during another one of those, but the guy asked him why he wanted his gun rights back, or why that's what he kept saying he wanted. And he goes, I don't know. And he goes, I just want them. And the guy goes,
that was him.
The guy goes, well,
That was
are
him.
you going to hunt? He goes, I don't know. I just want the gun rights. And it's like,
That was, I think, I'm 99% sure that was the same case.
But it worked.
I think
That's the crazy part.
He needs that reason. Yep.
Why? Because reasons. Oh, okay. Well, you know what? We listened to you, and we just gonna go ahead and we gonna vote to give you your rights back here.
Well,
There should
time
be a
is
condition.
9:46.
There should be a
Jesus always
condition that
carried
he
an
only
AR,
uses
so-
it to hunt or something like that. In my opinion.
Yeah, and we saw a number of those folks in Louisiana like coming before and say like, I'm out and I'm getting a chance to like be with my family again, and we're sportsmen, and like going hunting is a big part of like our family traditions, and that's why I'd like to be able to get this back. And a lot of those folks were getting them denied. But Jesus blanket guy, I just want him, and because he was wrapped in the fluffy wool fibers of the Lord, he got it back. It just that one.
the fluffy wool fibers of the Lord.
Cold medicine. I'm on a lot of it, and that came out.
I'm writing that one down.
That's a show title. Welcome back to Fluffy Wool Fibers of the Lord. Good evening.
You're
That
welcome.
could be a sermon.
That's, you know what? That's Dan. That's your new religious show. So we'll have game night. And now you'll have religion. You'll have the Fluffy Wool Fibers of the Lord Sunday mornings. Join me for Fluffy Wool Fibers of the Lord.
Oh,
You're welcome.
That's
oh,
that. Talk about merch, Dan. Merch.
well, that would go good on one of these hoodies because they're so comfortable.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe I'll have to do that.
Oh my God.
But well, that explains why
I
these
would wear
people
it.
want to cloak themselves in
Yeah.
the Jesus blanket. It's that comfortable.
Ah.
And quite
Well,
honestly, if
starting
these-
off. What? Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was
ahead,
just gonna say, if these people wanted their gun rights after their crimes, all they needed to do was do them in Arizona up to a few years ago, and they would have
Yes.
a gun.
Right.
And
Yeah.
a horse. They would have gotten a bonus horse out of
Yeah.
it.
Yes.
Arizona, where your guns carry guns.
Mm-hmm, they do.
I mean,
Right?
it's we've talked about it many times here. It's basically a crime not to carry a gun. They'll pull you over and they'll be like, why aren't you carrying a gun, sir?
Where is your gun? I need to see your gun.
Take my service revolver now, please. It's 8 p.m. Come on.
Yeah, I got into a car accident like a decade ago, and the guy's like, "Where's your firearm?" And I'm like, "Well, it's right down there on my magnetic mount by my left foot." And he goes, "Good, okay, now we can proceed."
Hold on, I need a moment. A magnetic mount by your foot in your car?
Yes,
Absolutely.
All right.
that's where I keep it because where I carry,
Yeah,
I'd
when
be,
you're sitting.
I'd be
there.
pretty much sitting on it.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense. I mean, I've always
It's
wondered
easy.
about
You can
that.
just reach down and grab it.
It's easier than the glove department for sure.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
I use
Much
a
more
modified
available this
one of
way.
those on my chair.
I like it.
I mean,
So,
you know what, Austin? That's actually, I mean, it's a good idea.
that's
Yeah,
Actually,
it is.
yeah, Michelle's just saying she's seen that.
Yep.
She has seen Michelle, was it a shotgun or was it just like a handgun?
There's a guy who makes
Handgun.
specialized in handgun ones. Right down by he mounts them to the side of the chair, right down by basically your knee.
What's the good? I mean,
There you go.
Yeah.
people take advantage of people in wheelchairs. I can see that.
I-
I need that protection.
You know, the disabled and are
Yes.
very popular targets because they're considered to be easy targets.
Yep.
Until
So
they're
you
not.
become the target.
Yes. Yeah. You know, and that's the thing too. So, you know, and I'll tell you what, man, and we have certainly seen our share of, you know, interesting, even some disabled folks have shown up on TCF through the last year. And I don't know if I've seen anyone that's any disabled folks that have pulled a gun, but we have
Honestly, there's one crime that the disabled seem to do the most.
Oh God, yes, we know.
that one.
Oh,
It's that
it's
one.
that.
Oh no,
That.
he's going
Yeah.
there.
It's that.
No, I'm just saying. Am I wrong?
I know. Sadly,
I've seen
Dan,
so
you're,
many
That is the
cases like
crime of
that.
choice.
it is the crime of choice. And it seems that Judge Boyd has like a magnet for those people.
Mm-hmm.
Boyd, oh Boyd. Yeah, it's
Oh, there was that
it-
Judge Boyd case in which that person had a deteriorating disease.
yeah,
And-
degenerative like discs and stuff in his back or something.
Yeah, and they wanted him out. They were trying to plead to her to let him out. So I think he had ALS or something. I'm not sure what it was, but he had something, and they wanted. Yeah, they
He
wanted
had
him
that
out.
in like
but she said
1,200
no.
images.
Right. And Judge Boyd basically in Judge Boyd fashion. And, you know, again, I know that she is a polarizing person, but if you like her, the reason you like her is because of this. She says, I don't know, seems that how long have you had this disability? Oh, you've had it for years? Well, then it certainly didn't seem to impair you from committing this crime. It certainly didn't seem to stop you from getting all these images and trying to lure minors in.
Oh, there's
Yep.
the guy was he was on the internet and he found this policeman that he thought was a young child and he
Yup.
went there. That was that one. Right.
That guy.
Yeah.
Didn't his brother testify too about what a great guy he was?
Oh,
Yep,
yes.
They always have
Yeah,
someone
yeah.
that comes
Oh my God. I was Michelle and I were in the car. We're driving to some place and we about crashed the car because that was so insane. She's like, what did he just say? He's a good guy. And I'm like, oh my God. Yeah, he's a good, except for that time where he wasn't, except for that time where he tried to lure in a minor. You know, other than that part, pretty
And
good
there
dude
was like
though.
he didn't actually do anything. He just went to that location. I'm like, really?
That's the common argument. That's the Chris Hansen, you know, they sort of, they tried to pull that with the, you know, with the To Catch a Predator too. They were like, well, it wasn't actually a minor. It was a decoy. It was, somebody that was pretending to be. So there was never really a danger, and therefore it's not really a crime.
Yeah.
And I didn't actually do anything.
Yeah, I didn't actually.
Right.
I just showed up, and then I offered Chris Hansen a slice of pizza. So it's not like I did anything wrong.
Yeah. I think Chris
And
said
then he
once,
offered
so
me a
what, are we just
slice.
supposed to let you do this?
Yeah.
Why don't you sit
And
down
dinner
right there,
rescue?
please?
Yeah. This time it's offering Chris Hansen a slice of pizza.
Oh,
But what about the next time?
Yeah, exactly. And then
I've
you
sort of
read,
mentioned the
it's
pizza.
and then they read those texts, like Judge Stevens reads the text, or Judge Boyd will read these texts, or Judge Shackelford, or one of these they'll sit there and read, and it's just so when you hear them read, actually read the chats, it's like, what the hell is going on?
Yeah. I have to say, one of the things I missed the most, that was probably one of the more highlights of my year until we lost it last May.
I know where
hearing
you're going.
DA Alex. have to
Alex
say
Yes.
some of the
reading.
most
Shout out to
horrific
Alex.
things. And he was this like clean cut, very like wholesome looking young
And-
20-something. I'm going to bust a cap in your ass, motherfucker.
Yeah, he just reads a
He
deadpan
reads
too.
it like deadpan,
Yep.
and I'm rolling. Like,
yeah. That
Sorry if
that
I get your
that
channel
ended
demonetized Stand for that one, but
And we've
that
said a
ended
lot
bad
worse.
for that young man too.
It did. It did.
you'll
Not
recall.
because of that, but
No,
yeah.
he had issues. He found some stuff that was going on in Harris County there, and he reported it, and he lost his
Yeah.
job over it.
I mean, and what's sad is that he was right to report it. He was right to say something about it
good job.
because, he's an attorney.
Yeah.
I mean, God forbid an attorney have, and that's the other thing we learned is that sometimes attorneys actually do have ethics, and they actually do stick by those ethics. And Alex in Judge Fleischer's court was one of those guys, and I felt bad. Of course, then we lost Judge Fleischer, and hopefully,
And I feel like
maybe
that's
we'll
a
get him
big
back
story
one day.
from this year is, Judge Fleischer, like his stream was like one of the bigger pieces of this corner of the internet, and he was by far the most popular judge. And all of a sudden, one day, we all hopped on YouTube, and
I would
gone.
argue that Judge Fleischer and to some extent Judge Boyd are big drivers of LawTube.
Mm-hmm.
A lot before I discovered TCF.
Yeah.
There were other court channels, and I don't really watch those court channels anymore. There's but there's one that when I would see I would see Fleischer and Boyd, and those were that's what really. Yeah, I saw some other stuff long before that. I mean, court cam, on A&E and all that, obviously.
Yeah.
But I mean, what really drew me in was a lot of that, the Fleischer and the Judge Boyd and some of that stuff. Even I saw some Judge Simpson clips long before I knew really who he was.
yeah.
And then I started getting fed all the stuff from TCF, and that's what really pulled me in here is.
Yeah.
That stuff. And it's a shame that Judge Fleischer decided not to do that anymore. And again, maybe it's partly political and he's worried about elections, and you do have to worry about that. And maybe if he wins in 26, maybe he just puts the middle finger up and says, I'm streaming, baby. I don't care.
Yeah.
I doubt it,
and-
but you never know. I mean, that's the thing.
I will say, as the guy who runs this channel, initially it bothered me that we lost him. But there's part of me that's glad that we did, because he was so popular that you were almost compelled to show him too much.
Yeah.
Yes.
Where now, because
Pressured.
it's not an option for us, we can go to all of these different places, see all these different judges, get a much larger perspective as to what's going on around the country.
True.
Yeah.
Then when he's there, if you weren't showing him, nobody was watching your channel.
Exactly. And
But
for
there's-
me, kind of the silver lining is, the Monday or Tuesday I hopped on to, watch my daily Judge Fleischer stream, and it was gone. The next channel that was served up is TCF, and here I am. And now I've been to Louisiana, and I've been to every other court in Texas, and
I still miss
all the
Judge
other stuff
Fleischer, though.
I've
I will
seen
say.
So yeah, I definitely do miss him, but I agree with Dan. It's
I do.
Yes,
for sure.
It opened up so much more content. It's much more interesting content. Not that Courtroom 5 wasn't interesting, but we get more perspectives, different cultural norms, i.e. what you can and can't do in hunting and fishing season in Florida. Like, I didn't know that before May, I figured it's Florida. You can do what you want down there.
3 consecutive life sentences for taking a fish out of season.
I mean, pretty much,
Don't smoke weed and don't fish out of season.
Exactly. And I was in the true crime world before I found TCF. I didn't even watch court at all. And then I found TCF. I'm like, what's the difference between a public defender and an attorney? And I remember I asked Dan that question. It was my first interaction with the channel. And he's like, oh, come check out my video. And I have this all explained for you. And I'm like,
nice.
Okay. So
that's true.
Ever since then, I've been here. And now I watch
court.
court.
Talk about it.
And I learn.
So
that's great.
It's kind of, this is the case for all of us except Austin, who's in the business. But, honestly, I came here 15 months ago with no law background. It's just, I've told the story before. YouTube started showing me these videos, and I'm like, I like this. It's interesting, but I think I can do it a little different. And now here we are. So
here we are.
There you go. Well,
been a great year.
We should probably wrap it up, but I have a question for each of you. And that's this. What are you hoping for? What are you hoping to be able to see or be able to do here on the channel in the coming year?
Oh.
Austin, we'll start with you.
Oh boy.
Since you're the newest one, let's put you on the spot right now.
I would like to see more of I would like Fleischer to come back, but as we've said, don't know if that's going to happen. And I just wish it would stay as popular as it is, so we have so many that we can watch, all the different judges. And
I don't think it's going anywhere unless YouTube gets a bug up their rear end about it for some reason, which you never know.
Either YouTube or the counties themselves, where the two people or the two entities that we have to hope don't change.
Yeah. Ashley?
Well, I personally wish for this channel to really take off and just have a greater influence. I know we're already getting there, but that outreach, I think people should really know about TCF and know how important this community is. And I really would want that outreach to other people. And I know, and hopefully Sidebar and other things that you do, Dan, can help reach more people. And that's what I wish for this channel in the upcoming year.
From your mouth to God's ears, Ashley. Thank you.
For me personally, about watching things, just a variety, just keep up with a variety. Like I said, I'll be more interested in seeing some civil cases. I'm not very exposed to civil cases as much. I'm just exposed to criminal side of things. But maybe I want to learn more about the civil side and other kind of cases if they're even shown online. I'm not sure.
There are judges that specifically do civil that do stream.
Yep.
So yeah, so that
might
be something. That might be something I might like to see in the upcoming year. And yeah, I just hope that none of our favorite judges retire.
We're losing one next year.
Middleton is retiring.
I know. I don't want them to go. But I know you can't fulfill that wish. But that's kind of what I'm looking forward to in the new year.
All right, Michael.
Well, I'll tell you, Dan. Obviously, a lot of the stuff I just think is just going to continue to grow kind of on its own, and because the channel is running very well. Obviously, more live content, and we're probably going to have more of that. I hope.
Gonna look at that.
And I sometimes, I'm always available off the bench, so there's always that.
Some people would argue the show's better with you. So
a fool would argue that, yes.
Nah, you're fine.
Well, yeah. So, but no, I think I just look forward to seeing what happens. I know that the TCF's going to continue to thrive, and I'm kind of just interested to see where it goes in the next year. That's what I'm looking forward to. And you know what? Maybe some new judges along the way too. I'm sure we're going to find some new. Every once in a while, we stumble onto a new one that we really like. We found Reno, and that was great.
Yeah.
And we'll probably find more of that. So I'm looking forward to that.
I'm always on the lookout. Lindsay.
The Judge Middleton retirement special with special appearance by the man himself.
Yay!
You tell me
what?
he wouldn't be game for that once he's
Yeah,
off
You
the
know
bench.
what?
Oh,
I'll
yeah.
tell you what. That would be amazing.
That would send your viewership.
I love that idea.
When we went up to my daughter's wedding, we weren't that far away from his court, but unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity based on the schedule to go see him. But it was definitely on the list.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he would play, I'd be all over that. I don't know. Maybe I'll start making some phone
He would
calls
have
and
some
emails.
great stories. So many great stories.
Yep.
We'd need to go long. That's the only
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
Well,
That's why I said they're the special.
They got an
It would be
afternoon?
Like a,
Yeah.
TCF's first 24-hour live.
I was going to say,
We each have to take a turn hosting for a
Right.
set period of time just to make
Marathon.
all get StreamYard access.
Uh-huh. All right. Well, for me, I'm hoping to continue to reach people and continue to model. Hopefully I do this well enough now. Heaven knows I try, but model being a decent human being. Because to be honest with you, I think that's the biggest thing missing, is that we need to work on, as a society, just being better and treating each other better. And then maybe we wouldn't see quite so many crazy people in court because people would be handling their stuff. And hello, Pepto. Thank you for joining us.
Pepto.
All right, guys. And you came in just in time because we're leaving now. So hit the rewind button.
Yes.
All right,
I
guys.
bet you've
That
been
is
busy, Pepto.
that is it for Sidebar for this year. But rumor is we'll be back come the new year, and we do have the live show tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific, and then we'll have a combination of live and Memorex during the 2 weeks of the holidays. So
Beautiful.
there'll always be something for you.
That's good.
All right, guys, this has been fun. Let's do it again sometime. Yeah.
Yes.
I'm
Yes.
Dave.
All right, everybody. Take care. God bless.
I know.
Bye.
I